Aloha out there. Today we're going to be talking about basic chord forms. Who doesn't love some basic chord forms? Unfortunately, there are many basic chord forms, but take it one little itty baby bit at a time, do our darndest, and once you got all them basic chord forms, get acquainted with them, well, you can get to the non-basic chord forms, and then the transcendently non-basic, until you come right back around again to the basic, okay? Let's keep hanging in the key of A. I've been in the key of A, so let's keep going. Now, I know this might be tough because we got to use the pinky, but hey, use that pinky, okay? You got to, oh boy, look at this. Checkity check. You got to use that pinky, okay? We want to hear this, and we want to get acquainted with, all the little ways that this area can become an A chord. There's a lot of them. We got or, all right, or everything all together. And I'm sure some of you will compare this to the G chord, that particular shape. Well, it is that same shape, but on A. And this is a good one to have. Notice I got my ring, my middle, my index, pinky. This will be tough for some of you initially, but just work on it. And it gives you a lot to have that. Okay. Next in line, so now, instead of having the root on the bottom, have the third on the bottom. Nice sound, great shape. Barring the pinky. Tricky. All that's living in here. Now this next set, this is fun. This has the third in the bottom. This might be the one that needs most work, because we're not used to having the third on the bottom as guitarists. It's easiest to find the root on the lowest note. Well, now we got the third on the bottom, and you get this. That's an A chord. You can also get this. Good shapes to have. Ted brings us to the good old A bar shape. We know this one, right? But we want to get acquainted with all the different ways we can get it, like just the top region, or in the middle there, right? All the ways we can grab it, right? Because a lot of the time when we're playing more intricate music, we don't need everything, nor do we want everything. It can be a little bit of overkill. We might want to keep it a little less. Less is more. Often less is more. Right? If you see A on a chart, it's nice to be able to go. Those are all A chords, right? It's nice to have those options, right? As opposed to, it's A, well, just, that's nothing wrong with this. This is lovely. Who doesn't love a little bar sound? But, right, we want to be able to find all the little iterations of A. Right? So that we can do the same thing multiple ways. So that one chord can become, it can become all sorts of things. It can become, you can play the same chord in so many different ways to get so many different feelings, so many different textures, so many different shades of that harmonic color. Maybe even not even different shades, but I guess different, it's funny because, when the third is on the bottom, that's a different feeling than when the root is on the bottom. Still the same notes, right? But a little different feeling, different sense of gravity. And same thing when the fifth is on the bottom. A little different when the fifth's on the bottom, okay? So we want to get acquainted with that. Get acquainted with all the different feelings that the same chord can have depending on its inversion, okay? Moving on, Ted brings us to this land. Now the third is on the bottom. There's a good shape, important shape. You can even just grab it like this. It's a good shape. It's good to practice moving. Right. Inversion town. We need, it really is, you know, tough that on the guitar inversions really aren't obvious the way they are on the piano. Understanding inversions on the piano is a lot clearer. It's more linearly laid out there. You can just, oh yeah, just take that and put it there. Great. On the guitar, I had a student describe it, wow, it's kind of like 6 pianos at once in a way, right? Each string representing that linear set that you can see more clearly. So we do have a little more work cut out for us, but as I've said, just familiarize yourself with these shapes. They'll start to settle in. They will start to make sense. You just have to sort of bang your head against the wall. Before you know it, the wall will become putty. And then before that, you can mold the wall. And then you can just say, bye-bye wall. Now I have inversions. Okay? So anyway, third in the bottom, ba-da-dum. Our third in the bottom situation. Now, this is a fun way to have the third in the bottom, like so. Got the third, the fifth, the root, the third, and the fifth here. Great sound. Your root is there with the pinky on the 12th fret. I hang out here plenty if I'm playing rock and roll. Okay. And Ted brings us here. Notice this is your D major shape, but up here with A, right? And I got the root with my index. All right. Another one, I do this one a lot. Or you could have the fifth on the bottom too. But this grab, this root fifth third, I love this voicing on the guitar. It's easy to grab. It's a fingertip chord. Easy to grab. I'd recommend really spending time with that one and trying it on different string sets. That's A, that's A, that's A. That's a nice sound. That, to me, that's a lot more satisfying than everything. Or everything's nice, but it's nice to have just the necessities, right? Those bare necessities, necessities, right? It's some Jungle Book stuff, right? It's like the Jungle Book, okay? Where are we now? Yeah, we're talking about this. Well, now let's bring the root here to the 12th fret of A. All right, same thing. Same thing. Hence the beauties and the troubles of the guitar. You can do the same thing different ways. That turns a lot of people off, but it's just the way it is with this instrument. I don't know what to tell you. Just the way it is. So in this region, we got this. We got this. We got this. This is a nice one. Fifth on top. Fifth on the bottom. Fifth, third, fifth root. Right? Fifth, root, third. Right? So many darn ways to play the same chord in the same area as well. Right? Often we don't need to even change areas to articulate the chord in a novel way. There's just a different way of putting the intervals together in that area, right? And the more you study these shapes, the more clear that's gonna, more clearly that will reveal itself. Yeah, these are fun. These are fun ones to grab. Some of these you'll notice are just easier to grab, and they're not bar chords. I swear, bar chords, the deeper and more expansive your chordal vocabulary gets, I think the less and less you'll be doing bar chords, and the more you'll be doing fingertip chords or partial bars, right? Not these full-fledged bars, just partial bars or fingertips. And you'll notice that when you get fingertip chords going on, they become the source of melody as well. I heard Tim Miller say this idea that if you have a chord, I mean, you also have an arpeggio. Every chord is an arpeggio if you choose to articulate it as such. And you can practice, getting around it in different ways, just ascending. Oh, one more time. Or hopping around. Or groupings. That's groupings of 3, groupings of 4. Etc. Right? Finally, we get up here to the 12th fret. Love that sound, that shape here. Or this. Of course, the bars there. And according to Ted, at least on this document, that's about it for your basic chord forms, all right, in terms of major at least. Minor's in here too. Might save that for another video, okay? So those are your basic major chord shapes. What I'd recommend is, of course, get acquainted, peruse them all, and then pick one that you're not familiar with. Like, I think one that a lot of people won't be familiar with is when the third's on the bottom. Something like this, okay? So then ask yourself, can I identify? Where's the root? Pinky's on the root. Where's the third? Ring's on the third. Where's the fifth? Middle's on the fifth, and also my index is on the third. So you got 2 thirds in there. And then just practice moving that around. And know what you're doing. A major, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, call it there for now, but basic chord shapes, major, A major, of major importance. It's true.